Thanks again for everyone who's supporting the Strangers Celtic podcast. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're enjoying this content. I'm actually not doing an official Strangers podcast this week because my wife and I are going on a ski trip, but I did just do a guest appearance on the Celtics Reddit podcast, and you can check that out in all the typical podcast venues. It was a lot of fun. I got to chat with a couple guys, one from Australia, another from New Zealand. Ben and Joe, thanks again for inviting me on. I'm going to play a clip from that in a little bit where I share my KyRiE Irving conspiracy theory, but first, I'm going to bring over my wife. Obviously, I'm obsessed with the Celtics, and I watch every single game next to my wife while she sits on the couch playing Candy Crush, and I've dragged her to many, many games in person. So you'd think that if I show her some pictures of the Celtics players, she'd be able to guess their names, right? Well, let's find out. Here's my wife. So I'm not doing a podcast this week because we're going skiing, and I thought it'd be fun if I go through some photos of some Celtics and you try to tell me if you can if you know their name. Say hello to the people.
Hi.
So we're gonna go through and you just tell me if you know their name. If you don't, just guess what you think their name is. All right, we'll start off with this guy right here. Who's this?
I don't know. Wait, is it Morris? Because it's like really big on his arm.
There you go. It's really good.
That's embarrassing.
True. He actually has a twin brother. They have the exact same tattoos.
Ugh.
All right, moving on. Who's this guy?
That's the passer guy.
The what?
The passer guy.
The passer?
Yeah.
What's the passer guy?
He helps with the plays, but he's not always so good at the shooting.
That's perfect. Sure, he's the passer guy. All right, moving on. Who's this?
That's the flat earther dude.
The flat earther dude. All right. KyRiE Irving, superstar. Who's that?
The guy with the bad hair who makes winning plays.
That's very good. That's very good. That's Marcus Smart. He makes winning plays. All right.
That's the guy with the awesome hair that never moves.
It's true. He does have impressive hair. He must use a lot of gel.
He also has a lot of daughters.
He does have a lot of daughters. Daddy's always happy is his catchphrase, apparently. It's Gordon Hayward. We love him. Okay. Who's this guy?
Oh my God. I don't know. That guy's terrifying.
It's Brad Wanamaker. I barely know who he is. Let's move on. Who's this guy?
I don't know.
I made a couple videos about him recently. I take it you don't watch my videos.
No.
Okay, that's
he's very loyal.
Loyalty. That's the Time Lord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Robert Williams. He's sleepy. All right.
I don't know. Does he play on the team? I don't think I've seen him.
Oh man, you're breaking a lot of hearts right now. People love this guy. He's got short shorts. He's wonderful.
No, I can't see his short shorts.
That's true. That's Jaylen Brown. And
okay.
He's a future star potentially. Okay, moving on.
Oh, that's the young guy who's really good.
Exactly. I bought my dad a T-shirt of him. You don't remember his name?
No.
I talk about him a lot.
Rookie year though.
He did. He's still good. It's his second year. It's Jason Tatum.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
That's the Viking dude with the weird hair.
He's actually Australian. I just did a podcast with some Australian guys. I don't know if they're going to be offended by calling him a Viking.
He looks like a Viking.
Aaron Baines. All right. Good. He's a handsome man.
Oh, is he the one who elbowed KyRiE in the face?
He might have. Yeah. All right. Who's this dude?
Arms. He's all arms. Sometimes he can't control them.
Think you might hurt someone with those arms. All right, that's arms. Moving on.
I don't know.
When we were in Boston, they were selling T-shirts of him, and they had like a Scream mask on it. You don't know his name? He's got a really catchy nickname.
Is he the Scary Terry guy?
That's it, Scary Terry. There it is. All right.
Ah.
You've probably never seen this guy before in your life, have you? Some Celtics fans might not know who he is. That's Semi Ojeleye. He's pretty good though. He's a young guy.
He looks angry.
He looks like he's some kind of Hulk, right? What about that guy?
I don't know. That's a terrible picture, though.
Is this one a better one?
Oh, no. Why did he do that with his hair?
I don't know. He was trying to do like some
It
kind
brings
of.
way too much attention to the top of his head.
He's trying to do like a Demolition Man type thing.
I guess it distracts from his chin.
That's Gershon Yabusele.
No, I can't say that one.
All right.
That's the coach.
Do you know his name?
Brad?
There you go. Brad Stevens. All right. How about this guy?
Ew. No?
No?
Looks like he plays golf, though.
Probably plays golf. This is my hero. That's Danny Ainge.
Okay.
All right.
Oh. He's enjoying the Celtics.
He's been enjoying the Celtics since the dawn of time. He's been affiliated with the team for probably 90 years. You know his name?
No.
He's one of the broadcast guys.
Oh, I don't know what they look like.
Do you know his name?
No.
No.
Is he
Okay.
the one that sounds like an old man?
I think so. He does look like an old man, so he probably sounds like an old man. That's Tommy Heinsohn.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Ah! Is that Scalabrini?
Yeah, it's
When he was
Scalabrini.
young? Oh, look at his little baby face.
We met him. At,
Yeah, that's the only reason I know who he is.
All right.
That's Larry Bird
All right.
in his mustache days.
You passed. You passed the test. I would have been very sad if you didn't know who that was. All right. Thank you, Kitty. Say goodbye to my 3 listeners.
Bye, 3 listeners.
All right, so there it was. That was my wife. She actually did a little better than I think I expected. All right, so I'm going to play a short clip from the Celtic Reddit podcast that I appeared on this week. And, you know, there's been a lot of nonsense Kyrie Irving conspiracy theories floating around. And listen, it's very easy to come up with a paper-thin conspiracy theory with minimal facts. I myself once went viral on Reddit for creating a theory that the Black Eyed Peas got their start as costume Ninja Turtles in the Pizza Hut Coming Out of Their Shells concert tour. So yeah, this was of course before they became spacemen. Later, my wacky theory about Hannibal Buress not actually appearing in the movie Tag generated so much attention that Jake Johnson, the director of the movie, and Hannibal Buress himself actually responded to it on Instagram. So yeah, I mean, it's really easy to come up with conspiracy theories. So here's a clip from the Celtics Reddit podcast where I share my KyRiE Irving conspiracy theory. One thing that's kind of concerning to me that I wanted to ask you guys about is, like, despite the fact we have this really gifted player, there's like this weird kind of KyRiE Irving hate campaign that I'm seeing like all over Reddit. There's like a couple of really significant YouTube channels that have lots of followers that are pumping out daily content about basically the problem with KyRiE. It's all over Twitter. And these people are like arguing about, like, they say he's selfish, they say he doesn't want to win a title, they attack his leadership qualities, they call him all these sort of things. And now it's like it's spreading, like you said, to the media. You have like people like Bill Simmons suggesting that the Celtics are sick of KyRiE, painting the picture that KyRiE's LeBron comments were backhanded jabs at his teammates, and then recently suggesting he wanted to trade KyRiE to the Clippers for a pack of cigarettes or something. Like, holy crap. And then you have Charles Barkley's getting onto that. So I want to ask you guys about this, because I feel like because KyRiE's a known conspiracy theorist, I think there's aspects of his personality that's like inviting this conspiracy theory culture around him. So now you have like all these people on Reddit and everything spreading like crazy theories about how he was secret suspended, how he still wants to play with the Knicks, how he's self-sabotaging his stint in Boston so that he can get more freedom to play elsewhere. It's like, dude, like, do you think that's like this weird thing where it's like he's a conspiracy theorist, so let's create conspiracy theories around him?
What he invites on himself is the like assumption that he's doing things super deliberately to manipulate the media. So even in a situation like this one, where I think he was actually genuine, and I think he was actually just trying to say, hey, look, guys, like, I happened to call LeBron about this, you know, like, I mean, I could be naive here, but I think he was just trying to tell the story to say, hey, like, and as much as these kids are young punks, I was a young punk too, right? Like, I get it. I'm empathizing with what these kids are going through. But I kind of agree with you that, like, you know, his general weirdness, it sort of seems to me like he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt for being genuine that much. And I'd say that the divide between the people who really seem to defend him and the people who are kind of a little bit opposed to him, or the people who regard him with a bit of skepticism, is a bit generational. Like Simmons is an older guy now, right? And I guess like where we are, I don't know how old you are, Larry, but like, you know, I'm probably on the median point, you know, in terms of age wise of a lot of Celtics fans, and I'm not ready to give my heart to KyRiE, but I'm real happy he's on my team, you know.
I love that.
I'm guarding my heart. Yeah. Does that make some sense?
It does. And, you know, in the spirit of like these in the spirit of like these conspiracy theories I keep seeing pop around KyRiE, I wanted to come up with my own right here on the Celtics Reddit podcast.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, and I'm going to use the same kind of ridiculous logic leaps that these guys use to paint a picture for you. So this is going to be really, it's going to be spicy, as Bill Hondo said on my podcast. It's a conspiracy of the highest order. Okay, you guys ready for this?
Please, let's go.
Okay.
Let's do this.
I think this Kyrie Irving hate campaign is a well-organized militant effort being perpetuated by the New York Knicks and New York-centric media. And like, you're gonna laugh it off, you're gonna say I'm crazy,
Yes!
but like, I think the whole thing is trying to create turmoil within the fan community and within the locker room. And all these suspicious Twitter, Reddit accounts, I think they're all disinformation agents that are trying to like get us Celtics fans to turn on Kyrie and have him push him to the New York Knicks. And I have facts, all right? I have facts, and I want to share you these facts. First of all, NBA headquarters, where's that at? New York City,
New York.
Right?
Whoa.
So they clearly have a vested interest in having Kyrie sign with a premier franchise. But it goes beyond that. Charles Barkley, his comments today said that Kyrie threw his teammates under the bus. TNT's parent company's Warner Media. Where's that headquartered?
Whoa.
New York City, right?
Whoa.
Even like the post-game stuff on NBC Sports Boston, parent company NBC Universal, based in New York City. Like, it's a whole conspiracy.
plot
But
thickens.
the most damning of all these, though, is my man Bill Simmons, who I've been a fan of for years. And like, in fact, I met him once in New Orleans and he refused to get a picture with me. He was very drunk at the time. But Bill Simmons, I'm going to say this right now on your podcast right now. I'm publicly accusing Bill Simmons of being compromised. And think about this. So the Ringer, which he of course runs, is owned by HBO. And HBO's headquarters is in New York City. But beyond that, do you know who actually founded HBO?
No.
None other than 92-year-old multi-billionaire Charles Dolan, who controls MSG Networks, Madison Square Garden Company, and whose son is executive chairman on the Knicks. So I'm just saying, like, I think that Bill Simmons has been compromised. He's a puppet for the Dolan propaganda machine. And I think that everyone out there who's listening to your podcast, I mean, just think about your sources. Think about who's big Knicks, who's the New York media. You know, I think they're all on the payroll. And you need to, like, listen to guys like you from Australia and New Zealand, because you're like the BBC News of Celtic fandom.
Off the grid, yeah.
Or like, you know, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm in Seattle. I'm not on payroll. You know, like, I think it's all connected, man. It's all connected.
Wow, this is so there's probably going to be about 30 minutes between recording and this podcast going live. I think you've got about 30 minutes, Labber 33, to get yourself underground, find a bunker, because this expose is it's going to draw a lot of probably attention from of the bigwigs from the New York Basketball Society to your direction.
We're spreading truth, man. We're spreading truth.
That's right. Well, look, there's always a place for you here in Sydney, and I'm sure in New Zealand as well.
All right, so that was a quick clip from that podcast. And again, you can check out the whole thing on all the different podcast venues on the Celtics Reddit podcast. One last thing here. So I was looking through my old collection of cards. I got a bunch of D. Brown and, of course, a bunch of Larry Bird cards from back in the day. But Scott brought this to my attention. This is my collection of 1990 hoops. I'm sure everyone probably had this collection. I had pretty much the whole set here. But this is a fun card right here. This is a Sam Vincent card, and Michael Jordan's wearing number 12. Apparently he got his jersey stolen, and they only had a number 12 replacement, so that ends up on the card. But the one that Scott brought to my attention I had no idea about was this Mark Jackson card, where in the background you can see the Menendez brothers after they murdered their parents. Apparently they went and got courtside seats. Made the news. I had no idea. Thanks, Scott. Apparently I'm going to be able to sell these on the black market and get rich. Creepy. All right. See you later.